what is one regret we all share? It's that we have wasted away our years on things that were not even important and with people who didn't truly value us. Maybe some of us have even questioned our big life decisions, like the person we married, the career path we chose, or the people we became close to. Such is the state of human experience for any average person on this planet. Their life is nothing but a long list of regrets or what-ifs. What if I had taken that route? What if I hadn't met that person? What if I had started this business earlier? Ask any person of any age, and they will tell you the same. The list is humongous and overwhelming for most. Everyone wishes they had a time machine to go back and not repeat the mistakes of the past. Everyone wants a second chance at life, yet we are not willing to give that chance to ourselves. Our obsessive and highly controlling mind makes us believe that all is lost and nothing has any meaning anyway. Is that you? Don't you wish that there was a way, some clever scheme, or perhaps an esoteric secret that you could use to restore all the time, energy, and emotions you have wasted over the years? We all do so, and by the grace of luck, there is hope for all of us, each one of us. No matter how complicated our current life is, or how many grave errors of judgment we have made over the decades, we still have a golden chance to redeem ourselves. If you are one of those who would do anything to start things over and to restore what is lost, then watch this video carefully, because it might be your only safe passage out of the valley of doom, misery, and regret you are currently stuck in. As Einstein said, the most important decision we make is whether we believe we live in a friendly or hostile universe. The universe is a loving intelligence permeating all matter and every dimension of the non-physical. This intelligence gives us life and has created all the wonders of our world. Imagine if you were born on a planet with no water. You wouldn't have survived for more than a week. But luckily, that wasn't the case for any of us, because the loving presence knew what we needed: resources to sustain ourselves and experience life. So, there we have the gigantic glaciers that melt to replenish the rivers and streams with fresh water, ensuring that we all always have a steady flow of water. Your heart beats without you needing to take care of it. All your basic needs are provided. If we had to consciously control the intricate systems of our bodies, we would have messed up everything in the initial few hours of our arrival on this planet. Are these not the signs of a benevolent universe? Do these things not tell you how much that creative force loves you and wants you to be here and experience life? So then, whatever time you wasted doing whatever, can you see it as a part of the divine plan that the universe created for you to evolve and expand? You chose to come into the physical body to experience life in all its rawness and glory in this space and time. Your only motivation for entering into your material body was to live through experiences, to gather your lessons, so that you may be ready for the next step on the ladder of your spiritual evolution. If you had some not so happy experiences, what's the point of feeling miserable because of them? They were the lessons your soul chose for you, so you were supposed to learn them one way or the other. If things hadn't panned out as they did for you, the universe would have orchestrated other ways to help you acquire the lessons your soul was searching for. Aren't you grateful that you are finally out of those situations and on the other side of the storm? Had you not gone through the storm, you wouldn't have realized the value of tranquility. You wouldn't have been the person with your wisdom and nuanced perception had you not lived through some tough times. We live in a world constructed on the premise of duality. There is no dark without light. There is no cold without warmth. All these opposing yet complementing energies are what help us make sense of our world and navigate through it. So, it was absolutely essential that you go through what you have gone through to reach this very point in your life. But what you do from this moment onwards is your choice as you have finally woken up to your own power. You can create miracles for yourself, or you may stay tied to feelings of regret. As far as the time you think you have spent learning those life lessons is concerned, you will be compensated for that by the universe in ways better than you can even comprehend. But for the time being, can you finally acknowledge the universe as your loving parent or your guide? It knows exactly what you want and need, so you need to trust the process and the celestial path of your life. We will talk more about this in just a minute. As humans, we tie our self-worth directly to our age, because that's what everyone around us does. Society is incredibly ageist and shuns people just for growing old. Once an individual is out of his 20s, they say it's all downhill from there. While you may not believe it fully, that idea has been repeated to you so many times that some parts of your mind have grown accustomed to it. The constant media brainwashing and peer pressure make one feel as if it's too late to pursue their most heartfelt dreams and goals. It is as if there is an age limit to dreaming. That's the flawed thinking of average human beings. The truth is that it's never too late for anything in life. You may be 70, and you can still start your new venture. You can be 50, and you can start a new relationship. You can even be 90 and still choose to work on reprogramming your mind. Time is a concept invented by humans that helps us get by in our day-to-day lives. But there is no time in the cosmos. Everything is here, now, in this very moment. It's all happening simultaneously. Your past, present, and future exist at the very same moment in this holographic universe. All that matters is what you choose to do right now. Instead of being subservient to the notion of time, you must master it by realizing that all you have is this present moment. The past is gone, and the future is not promised, but you can still create one of your liking if you develop enough self-awareness. So that only leaves you with the present in your immediate possession and reach. If you waste it in regrets and pity parties, you are being ungrateful for the precious gift of life. Who cares if you couldn't do what you wanted to do earlier? What is important is that, are you willing to start today, right now, with whatever little resources you have? You would be looking at this time 3 years from now, wishing you had started then. Then what is stopping you from doing it now? Fear of failure? Past traumas? Or maybe your mind is playing the old cassettes of your previous life on a loop. Whatever it is, know that this is your chance. You must take the leap of faith. It's now or never. The universe will do everything for you only if you are brave enough to take the first step in the right direction. It will find ways for you through the thicks of the forests and through the tunnels of complete darkness. But you must start the journey. So, are you willing to take this sacred step towards the freedom you yearn for? On this journey of unraveling your true self and restoring your lost years, imagination will be your best companion and confidant. You have been using the faculty of your imagination all your life, but with little to no self-awareness. Therefore, you misused this marvelous faculty to think of all the possible worst-case scenarios, when you could have thought of miracles, and you would have manifested them by now. Our survival mind is an expert at making us indulge in miseries and constructing worst-case scenarios. This part of the mind wants to prepare for any possible danger, and thus always keeps the senses and emotions on their toes. People live in fear and anxiety because their survival mind is dominant over their creative faculties. This is true for most of us, and might have been the case with you if you felt like you had wasted your years. So you must take back control of this primitive part of your brain. Refuse to be dictated by emotions of fear and anxiety because they haven't served you well in any way in the past. Empower your imagination and learn to see your life from a different lens. Fuel your imagination by finding all the things you enjoy about your current life and thinking about everything you would want to create. Imagination is your superpower, so use it wisely. Next, try understanding that there are 2 ways to live your life. Either you may exist in a victim mentality, or you ignite creator consciousness within you. Gauge which side you fall into. A person with a victim mentality blames everyone for their problems. It's either that they had a difficult childhood, unloving parents, or they grew up in a toxic environment. While childhood traumas are real and valid, in most cases, still using them as a card to get away from your own inefficiencies is victim mentality at its finest. There are examples of thousands who had the most traumatic experiences, yet they came out on the other side as absolute winners. It was because they didn't blame the tough experiences that shaped them, but used them as stepping stones to climb up the rungs of success. Viktor Frankl, a Jewish psychologist, was thrown into a Nazi concentration camp during the Second World War. During his imprisonment at the concentration camp, he weathered the heavy loss of his loved ones, like his wife and parents. Not only did Viktor lose his family, He was also on the verge of losing his sanity and optimism. But even amidst such macabre devastation, he managed to keep up his hope because he had a purpose fueling him. After his freedom from the camps, Victor founded the concept of logotherapy. Victor believed that a person may suffer through the most traumatic events, but the moment he finds meaning in his suffering, it ceases to be suffering. It turns into a treasure chest of endless wisdom. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, Victor says, "Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. So, can you somehow find a meaning, a lesson, or perhaps even a speck of wisdom in your past experiences? This technique will help you in that regard. Sit down in silence and let your unruly mind wander. Let it think the thoughts it has been craving to ruminate over. Simply sit with your eyes closed and be an observer of those thoughts. Do not react, do not fight. Let a thought come and go as it pleases, and patiently sit through the entire process until the frequency of thoughts begins shrinking. You will find moments of incredible serenity between your thoughts. First, these respites will come in microseconds, almost like winks. But the longer and more regularly you sit for these introspective sessions, the duration of these peaceful moments will increase until one day you will realize that your thoughts aren't impacting you the way they used to anymore. This is the beginning of your liberation from the obsessive thought patterns that have long made you feel like a victim. This is your initiation into being a creator who is in charge of life. After harvesting all the key insights from your past, let all the other details go. Let them wither away. Don't think along the same lines every single day. You may choose to think differently. It's a skill that comes with time and practice. All the details and information related to your past are stored in the neural connections in your brain. Whenever you visit one memory, you light up the neural network related to that incident. And soon, you fall deep into a loop of thinking and feeling completely in the past. You forget the distinction between your past and present. The more you think about it, the more you create the same set of circumstances. And so your reality never changes. You are not moving forward because the vicious thoughts from your past subtly influence your beliefs, attitude, and even your personality. Dr. Joe Dispenza explains this process in his book, You Are the Placebo. He says, "Your thoughts and feelings come from your past memories. If you think and feel a certain way, you begin to create an attitude. An attitude is a cycle of short-term thoughts and feelings experienced over and over again. Attitudes are shortened states of being. If you string a series of attitudes together, you create a belief. Beliefs are more elongated states of being and tend to become subconscious. When you add beliefs together, you create a perception. Your perceptions have everything to do with the choices you make, the behaviors you exhibit, the relationships you chose, and the realities you create. So, create a grand vision for your future life. Include details about every aspect of your life. This is the most practical remedy to undo the damage that you have done to yourself in the past. Think about what kind of life you want to live. How much money, wealth, and riches do you want to be surrounded by? What will be your health standards and goals? What kind of a partner would you want by your side a few years from now? Make mental images of all the goals you have for yourself, and then visualize them every day, once after waking up in the morning, and then before going to bed at night. Your mind is in a highly absorbent state at these times, so you must utilize this wonderful opportunity to fully rewire the neural connections. You can also act like a new person, your desired self, to speed up the process of mental transformation. What if God, Source, or the universe talked to you today and promised to undo you for all your wasted years? How would you feel? Wouldn't you take a fresh lease on life the universe is offering you? Think like how your future self would think and do what it would do. You are essentially discarding the old identity and assuming a new one, so do it with all the vigor. You did not start yesterday, but don't make the same mistake today. Today is the start of a new life for you, so are you ready to shine?